What if I told you that a Japanese watch, costing a fraction of a Swiss timepiece, delivers the same precision, the same craftsmanship, and in many cases, a far better story? Swiss brands have built empires on prestige and price tags, but Seiko has been quietly, confidently, and brilliantly doing something they never saw coming. Today we count down 10 Seiko watches that have genuinely outclassed some of the most respected names in Switzerland. Stay till number 1. It will change how you see watches forever. Number 10. Grand Seiko Heritage. Starting our list at number 10, and we are already in serious territory. Grand Seiko's Heritage and High Beat models are not budget alternatives to Swiss watches. They are genuine rivals. The High Beat movement beats at 36,000 vibrations per hour, giving you a sweep so smooth it puts many Swiss movements to shame. Grand Seiko designs its own movements, grows its own crystals, and hand finishes every case in-house at its Shizukuishi studio in the mountains of Japan. The level of detail on the dial, especially those textured dials inspired by the Japanese countryside, is something you almost never see from Switzerland at this price point. The Zaratsu polishing technique used on the case creates mirror-sharp edges that reflect light like no other. These watches are not trying to copy Europe. They are setting their own standard. For collectors and serious enthusiasts, the Heritage and High Beat range is a statement that Japan is no longer following. It is leading. Number 9. Seiko 5 Field Watch. At number 9, we have a watch that has no business being this good for what it costs. The Seiko 5 Field Watch, specifically models like the SRP G37 and the newer SRP K series, is a rugged, honest, beautifully designed tool watch. It wears like a military piece from a much higher price bracket. The olive, sand, and black color options give it a field-ready aesthetic that looks at home on a hiking trail or at a casual dinner. The automatic movement inside keeps solid time and requires 0 batteries. The case is stainless steel with a solid screw-down crown, and the lume on the hands and markers is excellent. Bright, long-lasting, and practical. Swiss watch brands sell field watches at 10 times this price, often with less character. The Seiko 5 Field delivers everything a working watch should: toughness, legibility, dependability, without the performance of pretending to be something it is not. It is straightforward, it is well-made, and it simply works day after day. Number 8. Seiko Prospects. Turtle number 8 on our list is a legend in the dive watch world. The Seiko Turtle gets its name from its distinctive cushion-shaped case, wide, round, and instantly recognizable. The King Turtle, reference SRP E03, takes that classic shape and gives it more presence on the wrist. It is rated to 200 meters of water resistance, features a unidirectional rotating bezel, and runs on Seiko's reliable 4R35 or 6R15 automatic movement depending on the variant. Swiss dive watches at 3 or 4 times the price do not necessarily offer more function than this. The Turtle has been in production in various forms since the 1970s, and that history shows. It is a proven design that collectors return to again and again. The dial is clean and well-structured with strong lume application. The bracelet sits well on the wrist and has an extension link for wearing over a wetsuit. This is a proper dive tool with a character that no Swiss brand at this price level has managed to replicate. Number 7. Seiko Pras Sharpedged series. At number 7, Seiko steps into a space where Swiss brands charge enormous premiums, the dressed GMT watch. The Pras Sharpedged series, particularly models like the SPB 221, is one of the most visually striking watches Seiko has ever produced. The dial is inspired by the art of Edo Kiriko, traditional Japanese cut glass, and the geometric faceting catches light in a way that is genuinely mesmerizing. The GMT function adds a second time zone using a dedicated hand, making it a practical travel companion. The case has sharp, angular lines that contrast beautifully with the more organic dial patterns. The Seiko 6R54 movement inside is accurate, reliable, and proven. Swiss GMT watches with this level of dial craftsmanship often carry price tags that are difficult to justify. The Sharpedged series proves that Japanese artistry and mechanical engineering can produce something that is not just technically excellent, but genuinely beautiful. This is a watch you wear and people stop to ask about. Number 6. Seiko Prospects Captain Willard. Number 6 is a watch with a story. The Captain Willard is named after the character played by Martin Sheen in Apocalypse Now, who wore an early Seiko professional diver during filming. The SPB 183 and SPB 151 are modern reissues of that exact watch, and Seiko has done something rare here. They have honored the original faithfully while upgrading the movement and finishing. These models use the 6R35 automatic movement with 70 hours of power reserve. The no-nonsense black dial, lack of a date window, and clean bezel make this one of the most focused and purposeful dive watches in the world. There are no unnecessary complications and no design flourishes for their own sake. It is honest horology done right. Swiss brands sell watches with similar specifications and far less heritage for considerably more. The Captain Willard carries a genuine story, genuine functionality, and a connection to cinematic history that adds to its appeal. It is a serious watch for people who value substance. Number 5. Seiko 5 Sports. Halfway through our list, and we have one of the most beloved and talked about Seiko models of recent years. The SRPD 51, nicknamed the Sea Urchin for its distinctive dial texture, is a sports automatic that absolutely punches beyond its position. The knurled texture radiating from the center of the dial gives it a mechanical, almost industrial personality that no Swiss watch in this class can match for the price. The SSK GMT variants extend the Seiko 5 Sports line into dual time zone territory, offering even more daily utility. Both watches run on proven Seiko automatic movements with hacking and hand winding, a major upgrade from older Seiko 5 calibers. The stainless steel bracelet is solid, the case finishing mixes brushed and polished surfaces cleanly, and the overall build quality impresses every time you put it on. These are watches that get admired at watch meets and on street corners. Real people with real enthusiasm buy them, wear them, and keep them for years. Number 4. Seiko Presage Cocktail Time. At number 4, we slow things down and talk elegance. The Seiko Presage Cocktail Time series is one of the most visually beautiful watches in the automatic watch world at any price. The dials are inspired by the textures and colors of cocktails, champagne, amber, deep blue, and rich burgundy, and the result is something genuinely stunning. The sunburst finishing on the dial catches light differently depending on the angle, making the watch feel alive on your wrist. The SRPB 41 in particular has become iconic in the collector community for its warm amber dial and gold tone accents. These are watches that dress up easily and carry an elegance that rivals Swiss dress pieces at twice the cost. The 4R35 or 6R27 movement provides automatic convenience with a display case back so you can admire the mechanics. Wearing a cocktail time to a formal event, a wedding, or a dinner is not settling. It is choosing craft and beauty over a brand name on a dial. Number 3. Grand Seiko Snowflake. The top 3 now, and we enter genuinely rarefied territory. The Grand Seiko Snowflake, reference SBGA 211, is one of the most talked about watch dials in the entire industry. That textured white dial, crafted to mimic the layered surface of fresh snow in the forests near the Shinshu Watch Studio, is hand-finished by artisans who spend years perfecting this technique. It is not printed, not applied. It is a sculpted surface that changes appearance with every shift of light. The spring drive movement inside is a technological marvel. It combines a traditional mainspring with a glide wheel regulated by electromagnetic induction, achieving accuracy that rivals quartz while maintaining the romance of mechanical watchmaking. Swiss brands producing watches at this level of dial artistry charge considerably more. The Snowflake has earned respect from collectors worldwide not because of marketing, but because of what it actually is, a work of art that also tells time with extraordinary precision. Number 2. Seiko Prospects Alpinist SPB 121 runner-up on our list, and honestly, it was a very close call. The Seiko Prospects Alpinist SPB 121 is one of the most complete watches ever made. It combines compass functionality, outdoor tool watch practicality, and a uniquely beautiful dial design in a package that wears with remarkable versatility. The dial, available in deep forest green and other nature-inspired colors, features a white inner compass ring and applied indices that give it a warmth and character unlike any other sports watch. The case is compact by modern standards, wearing closer to a vintage 38mm feel despite its listed size, and it sits perfectly on a wide range of wrist sizes. The 6R35 automatic movement with 70 hours of power reserve keeps it running through long trips and adventures. The original Alpinist from the 1960s was built for mountaineers. This modern version honors that heritage completely. There is no Swiss competitor at this price with this much personality, this much function, and this much history packed into one watch. Number 1. Seiko Prospects SPB 143. And here we are. Number 1. The watch that, in our view, most completely represents everything Seiko stands for, and why this brand has genuinely outclassed Switzerland at the highest level of what a watch should be. The SPB 143 is a faithful reissue of the 62 AS. Seiko's very first dive watch from 1965. That original watch was not just Seiko's first diver. It was one of the first serious, purpose-built dive watches in the world. The SPB 143 takes that 1965 design and brings it into the present with the 6R35 movement, sapphire crystal, and 200 man-horse water resistance. The dial is clean, symmetrical, and deeply honest. There is no extra date window, no brand showmanship, no unnecessary detail. Just a beautifully proportioned, vintage-inspired dive watch that connects you directly to the origins of serious watchmaking. The domed crystal, the pencil hands, the simple hour markers, every element has been considered and respected. Switzerland charges many times more for watches with less soul, less history, and less purpose. The SPB 143 is the #1 Seiko watch that proves Japan does not just compete with Swiss watchmaking. It has surpassed it.